You've probably all gotten a notice in your mail, if you're a homeowner, about your property tax notification. Colorado does this every 2 years, and they send out this notice typically near the end of April, start of May, where they say, hey, here is your new assessed valuation. And what does that mean? Because you'll notice that there isn't a bill attached to it, and you haven't gotten a notice from your mortgage company yet about your escrow changing. This video is not going to be a tutorial on how to use the El Paso County or Douglas County assessor's website to appeal your taxes. That's not really the job description of a real estate agent. I have had plenty of clients in the last couple weeks reach out to me saying, hey, can you find me 5 or 6 homes that are similar in size that you think are a good fit for helping me appeal my property taxes? And sure, that's definitely what my assistance or help should be geared towards. Keep in mind, as you do this in each county, there is a window from which the county selected sales. The 18-month period in which they selected comparable properties was from January of 2021 until June of 2022. So you can't use any of the recent data in 2023. All right, let's get cranking along on looking at some comparable sales. And we're going to take a look at a specific property that I have knowledge of, and that would be this home on Whitehorn. This is a 1,600 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home, just a little bit south of Briargate. It's in the neighborhood of Anderosa. And this is right on Briargate Boulevard, which is not Briargate Parkway. That's further north where the shops of Briargate is. This is very close to the Chapel Hills Mall. And this particular home, we're going to look for sales comps. So let's get right to it. Depending on the application that you're using, being Zillow or Realtor.com, to look for comparables, keep it in mind that you want to go starting, especially if you're in town, about a half mile out. So I enter the address, Whitehorn Drive. I'm going to look for 3 to 4 bed, but more importantly, square footage. I want to go about 10% above and 10% below. So 1632, so do some back of the hand math. Take off about 180 square feet. So we're going to drop down to about 1,450 square feet and we're going to add about another 160, 180 square feet to develop our range. So we'll jump up to about 1,850 in square feet. And what we're really looking for is the solds during that time period. So I'm going to enter in 21 to June of 22. Hit OK. I've got 17 results. So this is a good enough number for me to start with. We'll take a look at these results. I'll sort them by price because obviously we're going for lowest value. And I see a host of good options right in there. And obviously you see the sale right in there. So how do we use these comparables to appeal your property taxes? Well, simply put, along the way in the process where you are listing off the comparable properties, you want to make sure that you are, one, close to the distance, within a reasonable distance of the subject property, not in a faraway neighborhood. 2, similar age and construction. And 3, within similar square footage. That's probably the extent to which the assessor's office is using. They're not thinking about things like granite countertops or newly remodeled floors or a brand new roof. Those things don't play into their mindset when they are determining your new assessed value. Colorado Springs is a really diverse area in terms of housing. If you live downtown in 80903 or 80907 and you're surrounded by old Victorians, but you happen to live maybe a little bit further east in the homes that were built in the 1950s or 60s, you can't use the comparables that are in a different zip code or that are 50 to 60 years older. If you're all right within the same neighborhood and similar layout, they should comp out, especially if you take an appraiser's mindset. Now, let me put an asterisk by that. If you're using an appraiser's mindset, you're not going to consider this property here because it's a ranch floor plan, whereas 1890 Whitehorn was a bi-level. Finding bi-levels kind of scattered throughout at various price points obviously doesn't help your argument. So if you use the wet spaghetti approach, where you're just going to fling it against the wall and see what happens, then I would be picking off these top 4 or 5 properties with lowest sales prices of similar square footage, and I would be submitting those. Keep in mind, this is not an exact science, and the assessor's office is well attuned to everyone fighting property tax values. We saw it a lot in 2007, 2008, right before the Great Recession that we all experienced. I remember appealing my taxes at the time and thinking, this is never going to work, and it actually did not work. But following the recession in 2010, when we had another assessment and we had all those foreclosures, I definitely submitted all of those and was able to knock almost a third in value off of my property tax bill. That meant my monthly payment on my mortgage payment was a lot less as well. So that's good news. Another fun fact, and this one is important to bring up. If you appeal your property taxes and you are successful in decreasing your assessed valuation, this does not impact you from a mortgage lending standpoint. Never has a mortgage lender looked at your assessed value and decided that's what they're going to consider your loan to value on. You're always going to get an appraisal. The bank wants to protect themselves with the most recent data. And this data here is already old. It's old because the cutoff date was June of 2022. No appraiser in their right mind is going to go back and use a house that was sold close to a year ago unless it is dead nuts on and they have no other comps nearby. If you're a rural property way out in eastern El Paso County and there weren't many sales, they might go back that far. But that would be a bit of a stretch. They'd rather use something similar that was sold more recently to reflect the true market value of what's going on right now. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. And if you have friends, family who are wondering what to do with their recent assessed valuation, leave a comment below. It's pretty easy to search up these comps or reach out to me. Thanks so much for watching.